Welcome back to the second part of my Blood Angels tutorial. Now the next step, I'm going to use Abbadon black and I'm going to start base coating all of the parts that are going to be silver and black, which includes the bolter, the back part of the knee caps here, and all of the metallic silver parts. This is a very easy step. I try to use my finest brush just to be able to reach in the crevices without messing up the already painted red parts, and that's it. Next step, I'm going to use Caliban green and I'm going to base coat the eyes of the miniature. Just do it very carefully and use your finest brush to just base coat the eye. Next step, I'm going to use Warboss green and I'm going to highlight the lenses of the eye, just half of the eye from the front to the back. In the last step, I'm going to use Moot green and I'm going to just touch the very front edge of the lens. Now the last step, as always, I'm going to put a dot of white scar on the very back of the lens to suggest reflection. Now that that's done, I'm going to paint the metallic parts with Leadbelcher. I usually use glaze medium to thin it down, but you can use water as well. Next step, I'm going to use Mournfang brown and I'm going to base coat all of the pouches that the miniature has on the belt. Next, with dawnstone, I'm going to base coat all of the scroll work around the miniature if it has any. Then I'm using Warboss green to base coat the wax of the purity seal. Now comes the wash. I'm going to use Nuln oil to wash all of the metallic silver parts. And also I'm going to use it on the pouches, on the brown. Next, I'm going to use Griphonne Sepia, and this one I'm going to use it for the purity seal. Next, I'm going to use Scaven Blight Dinge, and I'm going to highlight the aquila. I know you're not able to see it very well, but I decided to go with the black aquila for my Blood Angels, and yeah, I'm just using this as a highlight color, highlighting all of the black areas which are round. All the surfaces that are flat, I edge highlight with dawnstone or Codex gray, as you can see, which is the next step. And this is going to be just an edge highlight for the aquila and the arrow here at the side. And all of the black flat areas. Also, I'm going to use it as an indication for a reflection on the black parts of the back part of the kneecap. Next, I'm going to use again Abbadon black to fix up my mistakes, which happened here on the arrow and on the bolter. Next, I'm going to use Ironbreaker to start highlighting all of the metallic areas, which aren't that many. It's just the bolter and the skull in the back, and some of the parts that you see me highlight here. Next, I'm going to use Moot green, and I'm going to highlight the wax of the purity seal. Then I'm going to use Ushabti bone to highlight the scroll, or I mean the purity seal, and after that I'm going to use Screaming Skull for a second highlight. Next, with the same Mournfang brown, I'm going to edge highlight the brown parts of the miniature. And then finally, I'm going to repeat what I did for the lenses of the eyes, but for this time for the lens on the scope of the bolter. As you can see, I use Caliban green, then Warboss green, and then Moot green in a downwards transition on the lens, and then just a dot of white scar on the top. I hope you can see it there. And next, I'm going to use Abbadon black again to make some inscriptions on the purity seal. And that's the finished model. I have to say I really enjoyed painting this one. It's really easy to do. Actually, it doesn't use that many colors, and it looks like this. If you like it, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and thank you very much for watching. I want to say that I'm really happy that I'm back making painting tutorials, and please feel free to leave suggestions or requests for painting any miniature. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.